welcome. It's my Animal Flow number 2. Thank you all for watching. Everyone come down to a nice Mala Asana, a nice yogi squat. As you open up the hips, rock side to side, I'm going to explain what we're going to do today. So today, we're going to start with some activations. We're going to warm up the wrists as usual. Animal Flow is almost very wrist oriented. So we're going to warm up the wrists. We're going to do some single limb activations. And then we're going to work on a traveling form. And then 2 form specific stretches. And then we're going to combine it all together. Alright, so first things first, warming up the wrists. So everyone come down to all fours. On your all fours, press into the toes, dig into the toes. If this is your first time sitting on the toes, warm up the thighs. Do whatever you got to do. You can pause the video, but warm up the toes. Sitting on the wrist, let's lean into the fingertips. Keep the palms nice and wide. Having a wide base is really important. You don't want to have your hands like this. You want to be able to dig your toes into the ground and grip the ground. Let's rock around. Let's do a few circles on the wrist. Keep the palms nice and flat. You can take the knees wider so you can add more weight and activation to the wrists. I'm going to turn different angles throughout this class, so bear with me. You don't have to turn as I turn. I just want to get you different views and perspectives. Let's go the other way. Keep the arms nice and locked out. Today we're also, with the form specific stretches, the breathing. Yes, I got a critique on the last video about explaining how to breathe through the poses. And so definitely be wary of how your breath is being used so you can move effectively. Alright, let's bring the knees in, center everything on your nice tabletop. Let's take the right palm down, right palm up, top of the hand coming down, left hand is palm facing down, and now we're going to internal rotate that arm and then lean into the knuckles of the back of the hand. You can adjust how much weight you're putting on the wrists. Let's go 2 times one way, clockwise, and 2 times counterclockwise. Shake it out. Get the blood back in there. Press it down and shift the weight on there. Alright, other side, left palm up, right palm down. Once you have a good position, internal rotate and lock out that arm, and then press and rock. Let's go 3 this side. 3 counter, and then 3 clockwise. Alright, shake it out. Honestly, that's probably like the number one, not my number one wrist activation, because you can add more weight to it with the body. You can even dig into the toes and go to a 3 stance. And you can go 2 stance. So you can always use your body weight to help open up the wrists. Let's shake it out really well. Move the fingers. All right, so now for the activations. So one thing with Animal Flow is being able to move with control. To be able to move control, you have to be able to move the body with small increments. For example, it's really easy to exert a lot of power to move far and to move forward really far. But with Animal Flow, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to activate the core and move with small controlled movements. So with activations, this first we'll come into the static beast. Knees hovering 1 inch off the ground, shoulders, you're pressing through the upper back and the lower back. The seat is not poking out like this. You see this curl in my back? I want you to activate and bring the hips in. So this is your static beast. So your core is activated because it's getting pulled in, not poking out the seat. So you're not doing a cow with the lower back. You're doing a nice strong cat. All right, so the first activation is just, you're gonna press into the toes, press into the right hand, and we're gonna hover and lift the left hand 1 inch off the ground. As you can see, the body has to press into the opposite side of the body just to hover the left hand down. All right, left hand comes down, right hand activates. Now you may have to shift the weight. I don't want you to bring the hand up here. I don't want you to bring the hips up. You're still keeping the knees nice and low, and hover that right hand 1 inch off the ground. Bring the right hand down, left toes lift 1 inch off the ground. Still keeping the knee. You may feel that right thigh starting to engage. Left toes down, right toes up. Still keeping that activation through the shoulders, pressing through the upper back. So with the breath, with animal flow, you want to, just like in yoga, you want to be able to breathe under control. If you start shortening the breath, speeding up the heart rate, bring the right foot down, rest, shake out the wrists. If you speed up the breath with the heart rate, when you get fatigued, you want to be able to control the breath, control your movements. So with this flow, you're going to be moving from side to side. When you get to your movement, you want to still control your breath and breathing full and under control. All right, so now coming back to a static beast. So now we just lifted one limb. Now I'm going to lift 2 limbs off the ground, so the opposite limb. So if I say left hand lift, right foot lifts with it. So left hand and right toes 1 inch off the ground. Left hand down, right foot down. Lift the right hand and the left toes off the ground. Hover, extend, pressing through the left palm, keeping the shoulders and the upper back. Come down, static beast. All right, so that's your